come to the University of Kentucky.
Because you want to see what's possible.
From across our Commonwealth and our nation.
From around the world.
And from every walk of life.
People come here for lots of different reasons.
While we bring different identities and perspectives.
There's one thing that unites us.
The limitless possibilities we find here.
Here, you'll find what drives you.
Because you'll have the support of a community
that never gives up on you.
You'll find what ignites you.
Because you'll be part of a hard-working culture.
With dedicated faculty who drive you to greater success.
And you'll find what inspires you.
When you see the impact you can have.
When you're empowered to stand up and speak out.
Because here, you matter.
At UK, this is what we make possible.
This is where you'll find all the things you'll need to do all the things you never thought you could.
Here's where you'll chase wild ideas, knowing they could light the way forward.
Where you will explore your wildest ambitions.
As you find opportunities you never realized were out there.
And where you'll uncover the wildest notion of all.
That you found yourself in a place where everything is achievable.
And nothing is out of reach.
When your goals are wildly ambitious, in a community that's wildly strong, and with a commitment that's wildly powerful.
You'll see what's wildly possible.
Good morning. Please rise as you are able for the presentation of the colors and the singing of the national anthem by Pause and Listen. Pause and Listen is UK's premier female a cappella ensemble. They are represented by women in majors from across campus and a part of the UK Women's Choir under the direction of Dr. Laurie Hetzel. This year, Pause is led by student coaches Emma Scott and Aspie Fouch and faculty advisor Beth Wilson. Please welcome the UK ROTC Air Force Honor Guard and the women of Pause and Listen. Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning. I'm Dr. Everett McCorvey, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the University of Kentucky's new student induction ceremony. Let me take a moment to recognize the students who have assisted with today's ceremony. You just heard the talented group of women from Pause and Listen. Outside the Coliseum, music was provided by members of the Wildcat Marching Band, directed by Dr. Dana Biggs. We would like to also thank the Air Force Honor Guard, representing UK's ROTC program, for serving as our honor guard today. We would also like to recognize several students who have worked hours behind the scenes with our university events production services crew under the direction of Billy Payne. And finally, the members of the K Board and K Crew. Our Welcome Week student leaders have served as our ushers and guides. You were greeted by staff members from the Division of Student and Academic Life as you entered the Coliseum. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a warm round of applause for all of those who made this ceremony possible today. Sitting on stage behind me in the first few rows and on the floor are Board of Trustee members, administrators, deans, faculty, alumni, and representatives from our academic and professional colleges. Their presence here today is an indication of the great interest that the UK community has in your academic success as students. Will all of these distinguished guests please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Today we gather to celebrate the start of a new chapter in your lives, your association with the University of Kentucky. We hope that this and the other activities you will participate in over the next several days will help get you the experience and your experience off to a great start. So, let's get started. It is now my pleasure to introduce the President of the University of Kentucky, Dr. Eli Capilouto. Please join me in welcoming President Capilouto.
Good morning, and thank you, Everett. Dr. Angela Duckworth, a 2013 MacArthur Award Fellow, set out to study your mystery. Her question: if talent does not predict success, what does? Now, her curiosity was raised after she looked at a variety of situations. One in particular was the observation that each year, starting in their junior year in high school, more than 14,000 applicants begin the admissions process for West Point. Along the way, some 4,000 qualify for nomination. And after a strenuous and enduring process to find sterling students who meet the rigorous academic and physical standards, just 1,200 students are enrolled as Army cadets. Nearly all those who enrolled at West Point were varsity athletes. They excelled academically, but most likely, as in years past, 1 out of 5 will drop out, most after just a few months. So if the SAT scores, ACT scores, high GPAs, and impressive athletic performances don't entirely determine who makes it and who does not, what does? Dr. Duckworth asked. Her answer, entitled to her book, is grit. Grit. Grit, she believes, has 2 components: passion and perseverance. Passion, she points out, is not an explosive epiphany. The way you find that passion, it's by following an internal compass, going in the direction of your curiosity. And if you follow that long, winding, and sometimes bumpy road, it will lead you to your interest. And if you practice your interest, it will reveal your passion. Perseverance also is not immediate or gifted. It has to be earned. Duckworth believes that with a daily commitment to improvement, just to do things better than you did the day before, you'll overcome those tendencies of complacency. So again, with practice, you commit to your passion. This passion can lead you, through to your purpose, and through all of this, all the ups and downs you're going to go through on that journey, you learn to persevere. Duckworth's story deeply resonated with me, and upon reflecting on the University of Kentucky's imperfect history, I found myself asking similar questions. How? How, through 150 years of economic instability, prejudice, and divisiveness, has the University of Kentucky been able to be a leader in cutting-edge research, a force for progress, inclusion, and artistic expression in the Commonwealth, a springboard for individuals who become the backbones of their communities and professions? How? How, through 150 years of adversity, is the University of Kentucky so remarkable? So I dispatched someone with great expertise, unaware of Duckworth's research and findings, in pursuit of answers to these questions. And after reviewing mounds of data and surveys we've conducted in the past, and most recently conducting interviews with students, faculty, staff, graduates, and others we serve, her answer was simple but profound. At UK, we achieve more through grit and grace. By grit, we mean the drive and persistence to succeed, to be comfortable with being knocked down, but confident enough to get back up. By grace, we mean how we treat one another on the path to success. Our grace, she stated, is characterized by generosity towards one another, diversity without divisiveness, and self-reliance without selfishness. Most recently, when we were called to respond to the opioid epidemic gripping our state and nation, I got to see again how we banded together with our grit and grace to make a difference. And before I go on, I want to make clear, opioid addiction is a chronic disease. It is not a failure in character or judgment. It does not discriminate, but rather permeates every border defined by economics, racial differences, educational differences. And unfortunately, in Kentucky, it started here early, and we ranked 5th in the nation for opioid-related deaths. So we know firsthand the devastating grip of this disease. So what did we do? At the University of Kentucky, we take seriously our role to be the university for Kentucky. And in response to proposals from the National Institutes of Health, we had 20 faculty from 6 different colleges who labored around the clock for 90 days to produce a 600-page plan to reduce opioid deaths in Kentucky by 40% in just 3 years. They also had to partner with others from across the Commonwealth, 150 in particular who worked in governmental and non-governmental agencies. And I'm happy to say in April, because of this heroic work, Kentucky was one of the 4 states granted an award of nearly $90 million to end this scourge. So as we welcome you to this remarkable place, we enter a pact with you steeped in these very traditions. We believe in you. We believe in every student's potential to excel, and we're going to draw out that potential in our unique way through grit and grace. And this is not something we do for you, we do it with you. So you've already taken the first step, and we're ready to take the next steps with you. So what do we expect of you, and what should you expect of us? So starting with our expectations of you. Today we live at a time where our differences are being used as a wedge to drive us apart. So we have a wonderful environment here in which we want you to be prepared to grow. And every day we work to make this community emotionally and physically safe, but we work to make it intellectually challenging. So at times, you're going to be offended. Learn to listen more than you speak, to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and to open yourselves to those who are different. These will be precious moments when your ideas may be refined, changed, or strengthened. It's also a time that I think you'll advance your art of persuasion. So during your time at UK, this place will become part of you. We expect all of you to work together to build a community not only of belonging, but a community worth becoming. This journey is not designed to be easy. So you got to be prepared to miss the mark some days and fail. These can be very rich days. Learn from your mistakes and do not let them consume you. We expect you to dig in, work hard, win or lose, try again. This is when you will discover how capable you really are. And it's not failure that leads to hopelessness. It's failure you think you can't control. And there are going to be days when you feel like you want to give up. Be prepared to ask for help. Doing so is not a sign of weakness, but signs of honesty, strength, and courage. We expect you to lean on this remarkable community on those bumpy days. So we have this responsibility to one another. So just as we have expectations of you, you should have expectations of us. Our job as a university is not to tell you what to think, but to teach you how to think critically and communicate effectively. You've got to expect a place where we're going to hold courageous conversations. And we're not here to tell you who you are. We're to help you to discover your passions, which, when pursued, will guide you to who you want to become. So you can expect your aspirations to be taken seriously and treated with the respect each and every one of you deserves. And finally, we're not here to carry you the whole way. Be prepared to work hard, take advantage of your professor's office hours, collaborate with your classmates. Be sure to notice and use those resources throughout this campus that are designed to arm you with the tools necessary to succeed. So you can expect us to push you to your limits. But when you start to waver, we are here to help you. So if you commit to opening your mind and closing the distances and supporting one another, we promise to provide the space and support to do so. And on those days when we do that best together, we're going to build a community that is wildly possible. If you fail, do not hesitate to ask for help. Work with us to persevere. Work harder. We will be there to help you rise to the occasion. And on those days that we do this best together, we will help you discover that you are wildly resilient. And if you meet our expectations, we're going to meet yours. If you exceed our expectations, we will do all that we can to exceed yours. And on those days, together, we will achieve what is wildly possible. Thank you, welcome, and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Capilouto. Every year, a rising sophomore is selected to address new students and their families at this event. The winner of this year's speech contest is Cameron Rostron. He is from Indianapolis, Indiana, and is a sophomore majoring in biology and Spanish with a minor in mathematics. Please join me in welcoming Cameron.
Hello, new students and families. I am so excited to have this opportunity to speak to you today. And I know you all could not be more excited to sit in these wonderfully comfortable seats and listen to me for the next hour. I'm joking. Y'all look really scared. Okay, I'll keep it short. The reason I'm here to talk to you today is that not too long ago, I was sitting right where you all are sitting. Well, actually, I was sitting back in that corner over there with all the band people. Go band. But the point is, I know how you feel. I am from Indianapolis, Indiana. Coming in, I didn't know anyone here. None of my family lives in Kentucky, and all of my friends went to schools in Indiana. Boo. In fact, there was only one other person from my giant high school who came here. So basically, I was scared and anxious. I was so stressed that I didn't put dressing on my salads for the whole first week I was here, because I didn't think my nervous stomach would be able to keep something down that had that much flavor. Can you imagine? I was chomping on flavorless leaves, people. So basically, to sum it all up, I was pretty miserable. That's not to say you all are going to have a miserable first week at college. I'm sure lots of you out there are already having a great time. There's all that free food and free shirts and free other stuff from K-Week. But if you're not having the best time yet, don't worry. It gets way better, which I'm sure you've heard from 1,000 other people, but trust me, I'm the real deal. So let's fast forward to the present. Now I love being at UK. I have never felt more at home. I love the campus, and I love the people, and I definitely can't complain about our athletics. But seriously, I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else, and that's no coincidence. UK does so much to make you feel welcome and make you feel at home, because you are welcome here. Everyone is. Okay, so at this point, maybe you're thinking, wow, this is really boring. I'm going to stop paying attention because I've already heard about how great college is from everyone I've ever met. Trust me, I get that too. Everyone was always telling me how I was going to be having the time of my life. But then I got here, and I was stressed, and everyone was still telling me college is so cool. And I was just thinking, is it though? How do you know what to do with yourself? Maybe some of you are wondering about similar things. All right, listen up, folks. Here's the important part where I spill my wisdom about how I came to have a super great time, and you can too. Suggestion number 1, don't do what other people expect you to do. Do what you want to do. Maybe your family thinks you should major in this thing, or your friends think you should join that club, and maybe that's great advice. But maybe it isn't, and that's okay. You do you. These next few years are a time for you to figure out what you want to do and what makes you happy. And don't worry, you have plenty of time and some amazing faculty and advisors and a huge community to help you if you don't know yet. And if you know exactly what you want to do, but you don't know how to get there, or you're somewhere in between those, don't worry. There are plenty of resources just for you. Now, if you're like I was and didn't know anyone in college, pay attention because this is a good one. Suggestion number 2 is to get involved in something. It doesn't matter what that something is, as long as you enjoyed it. As I alluded to earlier, I joined the marching band, and that's where I've met some of my closest friends. And maybe you won't meet your new BFF in whatever club you join, but joining something, or many somethings, is a great way to meet lots of new people, which is, in my opinion, the coolest part of college. Now, if you don't know how to join a club, I definitely didn't. My advice is to go to Campus Ruckus tomorrow night or the Student Involvement Fair next month and find 3 things you're interested in. Find out more information, meet somebody from the club, maybe even go to a meeting. Chances are one of them, or all of them, will be right for you. Another superb way to meet amazing friends is through UK's new Blueprint program, which connects you to other students with the same interests as you. Speaking of meeting people and making friends, I never knew how people made friends in college because I'd had the same friends since the 7th grade. So I was super worried about that. However, I figured it out and I'll save you the suspense. Suggestion number 3 is to talk to people. I know that sounds like silly advice, but honestly, if you just introduce yourself to your next door neighbor in your hall, or maybe to the person sitting next to you on the first day of class, chances are they're looking for a friend too. In fact, the first conversation I ever had with one of my current best friends started because we happened to sit next to each other in class, and we both had the same type of pencil. We talked about how they were the best kind of pencil and everyone should use them and they have such fun colors. And after a few more interesting conversations, we became great friends. Now for some academic advice. Suggestion number 4, please go to class. Some people will tell you that it's not important. However, the reason we're here is to learn. So it's kind of hard to do that if you don't go to class. Also, just a reminder that you pay all that tuition just so you can go to these classes, so it seems a little silly to me to just skip them. Similarly, suggestion number 5, reach out. By that, I mean go to office hours, or one of the many peer tutoring services available here. College is not the same as high school. People don't baby you anymore, which is super awesome. However, that means if you need help, you have to ask for it. It may seem intimidating, but truly, every professor, instructor, and tutor that I've ever had at UK has been extremely welcoming and helpful. They want you to succeed. Also remember, professors are people too. They have office hours because they want to help you. If you reach out and make an effort, you will be amazed at what you can achieve. Now, I could keep going on for hours with all of the things I've learned in college, but I figure I've probably talked enough. To sum it all up, if you feel horrible, don't worry because it gets way better. And if you already love it, that's awesome because it only goes up from here. Study hard, but don't stress out too much. Having fun is very important, and there is no shortage of ways to enjoy your time at UK. Thank you all so much for your attention. I know you can't wait to get back to all of those exciting K-Week activities. Families, thank you for saying goodbye to your esteemed scholars for a little while. And don't worry, they're in good hands here. Students, congratulations on beginning this exciting new part of your life, and of course, go Cats.
You probably will never again have so many opportunities at your fingertips as you will during the next few years at the University of Kentucky. I'd like to introduce a student who has taken advantage of many of these opportunities and is a well-known student leader on campus. Student Body President Michael Hamilton is a senior from Paintsville, Kentucky, and is majoring in political science and international studies. Please join me in welcoming Michael.
Hey y'all, it's an honor to be here with you today for such a momentous occasion. On behalf of the Student Body and the Student Government Association at the University of Kentucky, I would like to officially welcome you all to the Big Blue family. Today serves not only as your first day of college, but also as the first day of a lifetime of learning and service. During this journey, I implore each of you to embody the sentiments found in our University of Kentucky Creed. This creed will serve as a roadmap of sorts to guide your decisions and shape the legacies that I know each of you will leave on this place. I'd like to highlight one line in particular in the creed that has evolved and resonated with me as I've learned what this institution is truly about. It reads, "I promise to contribute to my university and community through leadership and service." Sounds fairly simple, right? Give back, support, be a contributing member of society. However, this line of the creed is much more than that. It reflects the genuine dedication of this institution to serve the great Commonwealth of Kentucky. The impact we have on improving the lives of Kentuckians every day is heartwarming and inspiring, and I want each of you to understand that your contribution to this university is so much more than you can ever imagine. Whether it's saving lives through groundbreaking research and action on the opioid epidemic, or breaking cycles of poverty by educating the most vulnerable Kentuckians, the land-grant mission of this institution is something that each of you are helping to fulfill. And as a native Kentuckian, I am incredibly grateful to each and every one of you for buying into that mission. During your time at UK, I ask that each of you remember and live by the words we are about to pledge together. The Creed serves as a way to hold ourselves accountable for embodying what it truly means to be a Wildcat. I'd like to invite my good friend, your student body vice president, Kat Spies, to join me in leading the reciting of the Creed. I now ask that each of you stand as you are able, raise your right hand, and repeat after us. I promise to strive for academic excellence and freedom by promoting an environment of creativity and discovery. I promise to pursue all endeavors with integrity and compete with honesty. I promise to embrace diversity and inclusion and to respect the dignity and humanity of others. I promise to contribute to my university and community through leadership and service. I promise to fulfill my commitments and remain accountable to others. We believe in the University of Kentucky and will forever honor our alma mater. It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Jennifer Byrd Pollan. She is our Faculty Senate Chair, the University Senate Chair here at the University of Kentucky, and she is here to officially induct you into the freshman class. Everyone, please join me in welcoming Dr. Jennifer Byrd Pollan.
Thank you to Michael and Kat for leading us in the Creed. I'm honored to be up here this morning welcoming you to the Bluegrass on behalf of the University of Kentucky faculty. We're just about ready to get this school year started. This weekend, all over Greater Lexington, UK faculty members will be putting the final touches on their syllabi, polishing up their class notes, and picking out their first day of school outfits. As you attend your first classes over the next few weeks, you might feel nervous around your professors, or you might think you have nothing in common with them. But as Cameron mentioned, I encourage you to think of them as real people who are dedicating their lives to educating you. They have interesting and diverse stories of their own to tell you. I bet that if you stop in at office hours or ask one of your professors to join you for lunch or coffee, you'll learn something new and different, and you'll have developed a relationship that's going to continue to grow during your years here. While I am confident that this year will be one filled with wonder and possibility, I'm equally confident that some days will be difficult. And our UK faculty are ready to share that wonder with you and to stand beside you when things are difficult. If you take the time to get to know them, your life will be the richer for it. Now, if you'll please take a look at the back of your program, you'll see a list of the University of Kentucky's core values. The creed that Michael and Kat just led you through states that we believe in the University of Kentucky. We also believe in you. As the newest members of the UK community, we expect you to join us in upholding these core values, and we are confident that you can do so. So at this time, I'd like to ask all new students to please stand as you are able for your official induction into the University of Kentucky. As members of the incoming class, do you accept the challenge to uphold the values of the University of Kentucky, to maintain the high academic and leadership standards set forth by your predecessors and serve as examples for the achievement of excellence in all areas of university life? If so, please answer, I do. President Capilouto, Provost Blackwell, trustees, faculty, family, friends, it's my honor to present to you the newly inducted students of the University of Kentucky. Thank you. You can be seated now. At this time, I invite all new students to open the envelope you were given when you entered the Coliseum today. Enclosed, you will find a blue and white graduation tassel. This is a gift from the University of Kentucky bookstore. We want you to put this tassel somewhere in your room, by your computer, on your mirror, on a lamp, on the end of your bed, somewhere where you will see it often. We want this tassel to be a reminder, a constant reminder of why you're here, of the goal we share with you for your success and your graduation with the University of Kentucky diploma. I expect to see each of you crossing the commencement stage over at Rupp in a few short years. On behalf of the UK family, I wish you the very best of luck as you begin the journey to that commencement stage. And again, welcome to the University of Kentucky. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Byrd Pollan. We've almost reached the conclusion of our ceremony, but before we conclude, I'd like to make a few final announcements. The University of Kentucky is committed to sustainability and environmental stewardship. With your cooperation, today's event will generate very little trash that must be landfilled. Recycling bins are located at all exits for your water bottles and programs. Please place your paper cups in the trash can. The new student induction ceremony will conclude with an academic recessional. Following the exit of the platform party and faculty, you are free to exit, and we ask that you please do so in an orderly fashion. New students will then have some free time with family and friends before saying goodbye. Student-only activities begin at 12 p.m. All new students will meet in their academic college this afternoon. Please check with the K-Week schedule online or in the K-Week mobile app for details about timings and locations for each meeting, as well as the rest of this week's events. While you are reviewing the schedule, please note the information under the heading, "The Fun Doesn't Stop." Here you'll find a list of upcoming major campus events after K-Week, including one back here in Memorial Coliseum on Friday, August 30th, that begins a year-long series of events commemorating the 70 years of integration at the University of Kentucky. The Daily Show's Trevor Noah will be here with us for a special campus assembly. Free tickets are available now. Stop by the ticket office at the Gatton Student Center or check the UK website for online ticket information. Students, if you did not check in with your K-Crew leader or did not have your event pass scanned as you entered today, please make sure that you do so as you exit. Look for volunteers in yellow, event staff shirts as you leave. You'll find them outside the Coliseum at the student check-in table. The UK Alumni Association invites you to stop by Wildcat Alumni Plaza across Avenue of Champions immediately following this ceremony to have your picture taken with Bowman, the Wildcat sculpture, to commemorate your induction. Before we depart, we feel it's important that any new member of the Wildcat family knows the words to the fight song. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the 2019 University of Kentucky Marching Band playing On U of K.